Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review to episode 11 of The Traitors, Series 3, 2024. At the beginning of the episode we obviously found out that we only have 6 contestants left. So we have remaining traitor Charlotte and new recruit Freddie, Leanne, Alexander, Francesca and Jake. So Charlotte explained that Jake obviously has survived all the murders and it was nice to get Mina out of the game, and she obviously now has doubt over Freddie as to whether she can trust him. Freddie explained that he hated every moment of the breakfast, knowing that someone was obviously going to be murdered, and we found out either Alexander or Leanne were not going to be coming back to breakfast, when actually indeed both of them were. Charlotte said she was worried about the Leanne shield situation, with Jake saying it was confusing, and Freddie was a bit like, well, hold up, what happened? Like, we haven't lost anyone. And Leanne said, Freddie, it means that somebody tried to murder me. She said, I haven't been murdered, not a chance, definitely Freddie or Alexander. Leanne said that she had told 3 people about the shield, and obviously there was 2 people that she didn't mention that to, with Freddie saying that Charlotte obviously is trying to throw him under the bus already, the fact that she knew that Leanne had a shield. Jake said it puts the 2 of them, Alexander and Freddie, right in it, and Freddie explained that somebody told Mina and that she told Freddie about the shield, with Charlotte saying that Freddie's already given her suspicious looks, and Freddie said it's staring us straight in the face, the fact that she's obviously a traitor. Alexander said Leanne's trying to pin the fact that the traitor is on him, and Claudia basically asked the contestants, have they made wonderful memories, and obviously that's the hint for the next game. So Leanne outright said, who's tried to murder me? Potentially one of the 3 that she told the shield situation to have tried to pin it on Alexander or Freddie, or Alexander or Freddie, or both are the traitors. Charlotte said that Freddie has every right to try and obviously double cross her because of what she's done to him. And Jake was having a conversation with Francesca and Leanne, saying that Freddie lied about Leanne getting the shield. He thinks that Freddie is a traitor, potentially Alexander and Freddie are both traitors. Freddie was having a conversation with Alexander and Charlotte, saying could they potentially recruit and kill somebody at the same time, with Charlotte adding it's really clever. Alexander questioned what makes her think that it's not that, and actually what makes her think that it's clever. It's almost like saying, it's almost like you know how the game's run kind of thing. Yeah, she basically just said it's just massive controversy, with Freddie saying about one of the 3 of them knew about Leanne having the shield, kind of questioning have they double bluffed themselves, basically, the fact that they did know but then they didn't want to reveal it kind of thing. Charlotte basically said to Alexander she can't read, she's not really sure if he can read whether she's a traitor or not. Alexander said to Freddie that Charlotte's potentially been recruited, with Freddie saying that nobody believes him, that he thinks that obviously Charlotte's been recruited, but he's going to still try and, you know, get that story going. Charlotte was having a conversation with Leanne and Francesca, saying that Alexander was acting a bit erratic, a bit odd, pushing a narrative of obviously the traitor being Leanne. And Charlotte was talking to Leanne and Francesca, saying that Alexander or Freddie have to go at the round table tonight. Freddie was talking to Leanne, saying that Mina had told him that she smiled when she got the shield, and he basically just said that he was trying to act a little bit dumb, saying that he's never going to murder Leanne. With Leanne saying that they tried to murder her, and Alex saying that I don't know what else to say, I don't agree. So obviously Leanne's gone with this narrative that, well, obviously Leanne was telling the truth, that apparently somebody had tried to murder her, she received this letter, but again Alexander's like, well hang on, she could actually be pretending that someone's actually tried to murder her when actually they haven't. So yeah, again, she had to try and get people to believe her truth, but then at the same time you had people doubting that, you had people doubting Freddie, so I think everyone's got suspicions on everyone at this point, and because they're so close, they don't want to get it wrong, because if they take out 1, 2, 3 faithful, then they'll be outnumbered by the traitors. Leanne explained that she didn't trust Alexander at all, and I guess at the same time he didn't really trust her. Freddie said that Alexander seems to be saying things about Charlotte being recruited, and the next game was called Memory Lane and 3 Challenges, where they play one game they've already played, and if they manage to complete all 4 of the tasks in time, they get an extra £12,000 in their pot. Claudia explained that this was the most important mission because the player who banked the most money would gain that superpower, and the superpower was Seer, and basically what the Seer was able to do was to choose one other player, and that player would have to reveal their true identity as to whether they were a faithful or a traitor in that person's room, and that's it. That would obviously change the whole motive of the game. Leanne said she'd literally love to have that superpower, and she would definitely choose Freddie. Freddie said that nobody obviously should be able to know his identity because obviously he was a faithful like Charlotte, and the both of them have now been converted to traitors. Obviously Mina recruited Charlotte and Charlotte's recruited Freddie. And Jake said if a traitor gets a Seer, they'll obviously be none the wiser because the traitor will have been told by somebody else that they're a faithful when that person knows that they are 100% a faithful. So for the first challenge, there were clowns, and in each of the clowns there was either £200 worth of gold or a skull. There were 10 clowns with gold, and there were 5 clowns with skulls. If any of them got a skull, they would lose all of the gold that they've earned so far on the challenge, and if they obviously got all the gold, they'd win all that money to add to the prize pot. Jake's advised that they should look at the skulls and not the money, with Alexander adding, yes, actually there's less of them. So very smart tactic there from Jake. Instead of looking at the 10 that had the numbers in, just each of them focused on one skull, obviously hoping that they wouldn't move, and that would be the easiest way to work out which ones didn't have the money. Francesca said that she started staring at a clown and she wasn't going to let it go out of sight, and at this point all the clowns started jumping around as if like moving themselves around, so it was very difficult to keep an eye on your clown, but they did a very, very good job. Francesca won gold, Freddie won gold, Leanne, Charlotte, Alexander and Jake all managed to get gold. Basically all they had to do was pop the balloon of a chosen clown, and the clown would either pop out with loads of money or they'd pop out with a skull, and obviously they didn't want the skull. They were asked whether they wanted to play again. They played again. So Francesca, Freddie and Leanne all managed to get gold again. Charlotte explained that obviously there was only one balloon left and she didn't really have any confidence, so she pulled out. Alexander said that he didn't want to play either, and Jake also got gold. So £2,000 was added to their prize pot. For the second mission, they each had a doll which was worth a different amount, and all they had to do was pull the doll's cord, and obviously it was basically just a risk game. They'd pull it and just try and win as much money from however many pulls that they wanted to do. So Jake pulled first time £300, he pulled again, the doll said he was being too greedy. Alexander pulled £200, he pulled the cord again, too greedy. Charlotte pulled 300, she pulled again, too greedy. So all 3 of them out of the game. Francesca pulled first time 300, she pulled again 400, she pulled again 500, she pulled again 600, she banked the 600. Freddie pulled 300, 400, 500, 600, again banked the 600. Leanne started 400, she pulled again 500, pulled again 600, pulled again 700, banked the £700, adding a total of 1,900 to the prize pot. And the third and final mission was the mini cages. So I think it was kind of between Francesca and Leanne at this point in terms of who was going to win the most money. For this game, there was £7,000 worth of gold coins that they needed to put into their cage. And obviously for each gold coin, it was £50. And they then just had to hoist up their money within 5 minutes. The only thing that Claudia said was not going to happen was a countdown. So she wasn't going to tell them when they had 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, 1 minute left. They had to just kind of work that out for themselves. Freddie explained that the heat was on him. Charlotte's banked no money so far, so she's useless. So he obviously has to try and win this in order to stop one of the faithfuls revealing an identity of somebody else. Jake explained that his chances are slim, but he's not going to give up. Alexander was running fast like a pony, which is what Claudia had basically said. And Alexander actually started giving Francesca coins, saying that he trusts her as a faithful and he can clear his name in the game if she was to obviously win. And Francesca said as nice as it was from him, she's always that little bit suspicious. Again, Francesca was kind of, yeah, she was in the lead here. Again, Alexander wasn't really helping himself, he was just helping Francesca because he knew that she was kind of doing well already. And I think towards the end, Francesca did a bit of a countdown, and I think she shouted 30 seconds left, with Charlotte asking who said that. Francesca said she panicked, and when they ended the game, hoisted all their coins up. Claudia said they actually still had 2 minutes left of the game. So yeah, a bit suspicious from Francesca, the fact that she stopped the game early, but also they're under stress and pressure. How can you time 5 minutes when you're running around thinking about other things? In the end, they managed to add £5,200 to the prize pot, 9,100 in total from all of those 4 missions. And at the end of today's round table, Claudia was going to reveal who won the seer. Charlotte basically explained that after the second challenge, she knew that she wasn't able to win, and Freddie said that he was confident he would be the seer. So back at the house, Leanne said that Alexander had obviously gone off to find Francesca. I think he was part of the conversation, and then he obviously left the room. And Jake said that he was obviously giving Francesca his coins. So again, a little bit suspicious there with the others, basically saying, well, why was he helping Francesca? Francesca said that to Alex that either him or Freddie were going to be voted out of the game, with Alexander saying that if he does get out of the game, he thinks the traitor is Leanne. He said there's something about Leanne he doesn't trust. And Leanne basically said that they couldn't be more wrong if that's the information that people are telling each other, that she's a traitor, because actually she's not. And she basically said to Alex, I'm not a traitor, with Alexander saying neither am I. And Leanne also added that Alexander was actually in a worse position, or in a worse position than her, because he survived the death match and he's the only one out of those 4 to still be in the game. Freddie spoke to Charlotte, saying that he didn't know that Leanne had the shield, with Freddie adding that Charlotte obviously lied to him straight away. And Jake questioned to Francesca, Freddie and Charlotte whether they can trust Alex, with Francesca saying that she trusts him, but she just trusts him a lot less than some of the other players in the game. In the end, Francesca had revealed that she was terrified of banishing Freddie, and obviously him being a faithful from the game. Freddie said that Charlotte was playing the game ruthlessly and he wants to obviously take her down. And Leanne said they needed to take a traitor down. What's obviously the point of being in the final if there's too many of them? Alexander said everyone was suspicious of him. And Charlotte said that Alexander and Freddie are her only options. She's not sure which of the 2 of them will be the majority. So this was the final round table, the last banishment and the last person to reveal their identity. And then after this, we found out the power of the seer, and then we almost end up in the final episode. Claudia wanted each of the 5 of them to go around and say, I am a faithful, looking into everybody's eyes. And obviously Claudia had then revealed, well, actually, not everyone was telling the truth, because there's at least one person here who's obviously lied about that. Leanne said straight away that she thought there were 2 names potentially that could be traitors, Alexander and Freddie, because they thought there'd be at least one male traitor. And she basically said that she's had her first proper conversation with Alex, and he looked into her eyes and there was just something that she obviously didn't believe. And again, unlucky for Alexander, he was back in a game as a faithful. It almost could have been that he was back in the game as a faithful, and then just lots of little bad things have happened to him throughout the game. Jake added on saying, he's either had a really unfortunate game or he's played a really brilliant game. With Francesca saying that Alexander is incredibly charming, adding that's what Mina did. With Alexander saying to Francesca, look, if you've got the seer, go for me and I can prove to you I'm a faithful. And Francesca is saying, well, that's why you gave me the money. Is it because you believe I'm a faithful? With Alexander saying he thinks one of the traitors could be Leanne or Freddie. He said there's a chance that she could be covering one thing with another, in terms of obviously Leanne pretending that she was murdered, the fact that she maybe didn't have the shield, and actually they didn't try and murder her, so why is she still here, kind of thing. And Francesca said, well, yeah, potentially the faking of the murder is the reason that Alexander thinks that Leanne's not true. Leanne also said to Freddie that she was struggling with him about the seer situation when they found out that someone was going to win the shield or the seer. Freddie basically just said yeah. Freddie said it was just annoying that his name keeps getting brought up and thrown around. And Leanne said that he's the person that she likes the most, but he's the person that she trusts the least. Freddie added that Alexander seems to have had bad cards. Charlotte's fallen under the radar, but she has had heat on her. Charlotte said that Freddie's never spoken to her at all, and they all have to just look at each other, adding that she, if it helps, isn't going to be going for Alexander. So again, kind of suggesting that she's going to go for Freddie. There's at least one person to vote for Freddie. And then Leanne also jumped in, saying that Charlotte, Jake and Francesca knew about her having the shield, with Freddie saying that Mina had told him that Leanne had smiled at her about being able to get the shield. So Jake said, well, actually, Mina was coming for you last night, Freddie, so how does that work? And Freddie said, yeah, Mina implied at the end of the night that Leanne had got the shield, kind of without telling me. And then Freddie, Leanne and Jake all said, well, actually, Mina wasn't at the bar last night because he said that she told him at the bar. She was gone before the bar had actually happened. So, yeah, he basically... I think he just mucked his story up. If he was going to say that Mina had told him that Leanne got the shield, it should have been in the morning and the afternoon, before the round table, not after the round table when she'd already gone from the game. So when it came to the votes, he sacrificed himself. So everyone voted for Freddie. Freddie voted for Charlotte. And again, that one vote for Charlotte is still going to put doubt in people's minds. And then just before he left, he said, I love you, Leanne and Frankie. Again, kind of hinting that he didn't really love Charlotte or her gameplay. Alexander said it seemed to have been traitor on traitor last night, with Charlotte saying that Freddie voting for her was obviously not good, but obviously now he's out of the game. And Claudia revealed that the seer was Francesca. Francesca said that Freddie was a traitor. That's one thing off of her mind, but there must be another traitor in the game. Charlotte said that it's scary, confident, and hopefully Francesca won't pick her, questioning whether they've got all of the traitors, and Leanne said it was so scary. In Claudia's chamber, she was having a discussion with Francesca as to who, out of the final four, she wanted to reveal the identity of. Francesca said that Leanne is suspicious, but she's not really suspecting of her right now. Jake, again, she's suspicious of him. She needs to have a good one. Charlotte, it would give an affirmation that she was a faithful. And then Alex, she's wound himself up in knots about him. So it's going to be either Charlotte or Alexander. Francesca said that she wanted to clear up some of the people who were closest to her, with Leanne saying that potentially one of them must be a traitor, hopefully it's not her. And Alexander said that whatever Francesca said is going to be filtered. So whether you trust Francesca as Francesca or whether you trust Francesca as what she's kind of seen or heard. So we found out that someone was going to be invited for a private meeting, and that was obviously in fact Charlotte. So Charlotte was obviously going to be revealing her identity to Francesca, and what happens in the room stays in the room, and obviously the evidence was going to get burnt as well. Charlotte said that she felt awful, terrifying, horrendous. She was obviously playing against somebody that she liked in the game. And Jake basically said to Leanne and Alex, there's just lots of different scenarios that potentially could happen, with Leanne saying that she's still thinking about the Freddie vote as to why he was voting out Charlotte. Francesca said that she doesn't want to have wasted this superpower. She hopes that Charlotte's a faithful, as that would be one person she would have always thought was a faithful since the beginning. With Charlotte adding, how does this play out? She's the last traitor standing, and it's Francesca's word against hers. So that is the end of episode 11. It was getting quite dark quite quickly. I think there was only like 5 or 6 people left. Yeah, 5 people left. You've got one final traitor, Freddie, who's obviously now just been banished. And yeah, you've got Francesca, Leanne, Alexander and Jake, who are the 4 faithful left in the game. So I think early predictions, I don't think Charlotte's going to make it to the final. I think both Francesca and Charlotte are both going to get either murdered, banished, removed from the game. However, just because they're going to be going at each other, and I think the other 4 are just going to be thinking, well, the other 3 are going to be thinking, well, hold up, these 2 girls are going at each other, at least one of them has to be a traitor, we may as well just get rid of both of them and then just be done with that. And then that leaves 3 faithful, but then obviously whatever they decide to do, what's going to happen there. I'm not really sure who's going to win. I'm not really sure who's going to get through to the final, and I don't really know what the layout is for the final. But yeah, I don't think Charlotte and Francesca are going to get to the final, or if they do, at least one of them will be voted out, however that's done. So if you did enjoy my review, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And until my next review, which is my final review of the Traitors, where we find out who the winner or winners are, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And until then, thank you for watching and goodbye.